your horror movie podcast.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, boy.
Yeah.
Welcome back, dude. That Halloween grind was fucking something else.
Oh,
Needed that small little break.
yes.
Justin,
What
what
we
made
got?
you want to pick this movie for new movie November?
Yeah, we're doing new movies, and we definitely needed to catch up on things. I put catch up on everything.
You
All right, well,
literally do.
Yeah, sorry, I got excited because I said catch up. Anyway, so I wanted to get spooky. I knew nothing about I heard that this is really good. I watched the trailer, and it actually looked very creepy, and it looked kind of like it had like some kind of like weird ghost story going on. I freaking love those kind of movies, so that's why I picked it. Wanted to get spooky.
I had heard this in a lot of like horror communities talking about it
Mhm.
as one of like the better released horror movies this entire year. And I was all for it, dude. I knew nothing about it.
Mhm.
The cover art looked crazy. It just creepy and weird. So I felt like I was in for one of those types of rides, but I had no idea like who the fuck this dude was.
Dude, right?
Like I knew nothing about this going into it. So I was excited. I was finally thrilled to kind of dive into a movie that was new that I hadn't seen because
Yup.
we've put so many movies on pause to not watch them for the podcast.
Exactly.
What do we do here, bud? I'm a little lost.
Wait, what do you mean? What do we do here?
All right. So do you want to take it away and I'll wrap it up or
Hold on, wrap what up?
the
Hold on.
movie?
All
You
right,
got the beginning notes, right?
are you messing with me?
Hell yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Bro, I was just so confused. I'm like, I thought I took over halfway. I'm like,
I just like watching you squirm a little bit.
bro, I was like, wait a minute. I thought like I go last. I'm like, for real though, when I start, I told you where I start though, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Holy shit.
All right.
I'm just like,
I
I was like, this is
love
not
it.
happening.
All right, dude. So Hack Stab Slash, welcome back again. It's Hacky and Just Justin. Stabby is on a little hiatus. Like, share, subscribe, do all those fucking things, dude. Smash those buttons, dude. Help our show grow so we can keep doing this because we fucking love it.
Go. Hell
All
yeah.
right, dude. So Oddity, a 2024 flick. What did you watch this on, Justin? I found this on Shudder.
Oh shit, was it on Shudder? I rented it on Prime.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I rented it on Prime, and then when I went for the rewatch, I was like, oh, I paid for this, and it was on Shudder.
Oh,
I could have just watched it on Shudder.
Dude, I wanted to rewatch it too, just so it was fresher in my mind. I went this morning just to put it on in the background, and I'm like, I can't rent it again. So,
Yeah.
damn it.
All right, dude. So Oddity 2024. We're gonna dive right into this.
Let's go,
Right
let's
now,
go.
we don't know anything about this. Going in blind, no trailers, no nothing. I don't even know a goddamn character's name. So we're gonna ride with. There's a woman with no name. She's currently working on what appears to be a trap door in a very old-looking house. There's also a man with a notepad sitting on a stairwell, and he's drawing. And then he's told to go back inside by what appears to be an orderly at a hospital. Then we get another cutscene and we realize the woman is in a house. She's not in a hospital. So this is two separate areas right now, as she calls her husband, Ted, who's a doctor at this hospital, because she found cell service at this house and she will be spending the night while working on it. Bro, who the fuck sleeps in a tent inside of a house that is fully unfurnished with nothing around it in the middle of nowhere? With no street lights, no nothing in this house, dude. No cell service. You have to crawl to like the tippy top corner for cell service. I'm good, dude. If something starts happening and I'm in this tent, I'm dying in this tent because I'm not fucking moving.
No, terrifying. I'm already scared of the location. As soon as I saw that, I was like, absolutely not.
This house looks like something out of an ancient time, and it's got like a courtyard in the middle of it that I would assume people have died in.
Right? Like, what the hell kind of house is this?
I'm already checked out. Like, I'm not buying this house. I'm not visiting this house. I'm not doing nothing in this house. It's now the middle of the night, and Danny goes out to her car to retrieve something, which we find out later is a cell phone. And this is when the spooky shit starts happening. At this point, dude, I'm fucking out. Like I said, there's no cell service, and now we got a crazy guy pounding on the door with crazy eyes right behind Justin, if you're watching on YouTube, telling her that there's someone in her house. When she came out to her car, he was watching her and he seen someone slip in the door unnoticed and that she needs to let him in so he can help. Red flags everywhere, dude. I am out. I'm good. See you later. Yes, I am on the side of the referees right now and I'm listening to them.
Throw the flag.
And then we don't know if she lets him in or not. But there's no fucking way she let him in, right? Like at this point in the movie, we don't know what's going on. at
I don't
all.
know. I don't
No,
know.
it gets crazy because she starts looking at. She gets like this vibe of like maybe I should let him in, maybe I
Yep.
shouldn't, and then like I said, we never know because this immediately cuts to some old timey music that I fucking love. So I'm hooked with this music card, Justin.
Yeah,
You
oh yeah,
you
of
knew
course
this
you
was
are.
coming,
Yeah.
and we get Oddity, the title card. And we go back and we see this man with the artistic skills again. He even draws the guy behind Justin with the crazy fucking eyes. He's startled though, and he hears some crazy noises outside of his bedroom. I feel like I'm saying crazy a lot, but that's the only way I can think to describe it. These noises are unsettling. They're wild. It sounds like there's a fucking boar running around in the hallways. And like a normal person, he decides, hey, let me open the door and see what's out there. And like an idiot, he does it. And now whatever is out there is starting to stalk him. And when he sits down, he settles down all in like 30 seconds and decides this thing doesn't know I'm in here. So let me go outside of my room now and go walk around the hallways. And he stumbles across this crazy eyed man. His eye is actually on the floor. And then he looks like the camera pans up a little bit. And we see there is a dead body on the floor with his head absolutely turned into raspberry jam. Whatever the fuck came after him, straight up turned this man's face into hamburger meat.
So gross.
Now we're back and we see Dr. Ted Timmons, who's out shopping for some cursed items at Darcy's like Spookorama. I think it's called Darcy's Oddity Shop. Is that what it was called?
Odello. Here's like her
Odell
last
Oddities.
name. Odell
Yeah.
Oddity. Yeah.
Yes. They catch up on some old times. It turns out Darcy is actually Danny's twin sister. They start talking, and Ted tells Darcy, Darcy actually tells Ted a ghost story about this bellboy bell and how, like, if he rings it, a bellboy is going to show up. We find out, dude, Ted doesn't believe in any of this shit. He is not about the macabre.
No.
He's fuck the spirits. He goes, fucking ring it. Let's see what happens. And
Right?
she's like, what
cool
are you,
story.
nuts?
Cool
no,
story.
I'm not ringing this. You're on drugs. Ted really says, hey, I'm actually here to inform you that Declan Barrett died last night of a heart attack. And she goes, why does that name sound familiar? And he goes, well, he was a roommate of Olin Bole. And Darcy just shoots him a look and he goes, I have it. And at this point, I'm like, she has what? And he hands her his eye. And she's like, thank you. I just want to see if he felt any remorse or any fear. I want to feel what he felt when everything happened that night. So he's like, all right, here you go. What do you know? Whatever. They talk and she's like, the 1 year anniversary is coming up next week. Maybe I could come up and visit you. And at this point, Ted's kind of like, I got a new girlfriend. You probably shouldn't come up there. And it just gets very awkward. And then they split. We see Darcy closes up shop and she's upstairs and she's listening to a message of her sister. If I had something tragic like this happen, Justin, I think I would be in the same boat where I would like save the last message they left me just so I could hear their voice.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. So this kind of touched my heart a little bit. Like I felt for Darcy at this point. But she also sits down and she starts performing a seance and she looks through Olin's eye and she sees what we've seen. And it's like this figure in a black coat with a mask. And this mask is kind of creepy.
It is.
And then we see Darcy running downstairs to her shop and she unlocks a chest in the back room. And she seems a little bit frightened of it. Like, I don't know what's in this chest. I don't know if this chest had something to do with the murder. I'm still trying to piece things together in my head. But anytime there's a chest in an oddity shop, you should not fucking open it.
Never open the chest.
Justin, you want to throw that flag?
I was going to say flag thrown, red flag.
Yeah. It's Ted time now. And he wakes up and he's instantly fighting with his new girlfriend, who we meet as Yana. She's bitching at him for working nights and she's scrolling through Danny's camera. She says, would it be nice to have some pictures of your wife around the house? Ted wants nothing to do with this. So that starts giving me like, Ted really doesn't seem like he's got any remorse going on, or any attachment to her. Like it's a little unsettling how easy he is when it comes to just getting rid of all her shit.
Right.
Yana then shows Ted some photos and he says, look, do you see it? And he doesn't see it. And then she zooms in and we see Danny in one of these photos. And he's like, oh yeah, she took a bunch of photos. It's probably just one of those. And Yana goes, well, I took these 2 nights ago.
I was say this is a couple nights ago.
And Ted does not believe in any of this shit. And he calls it like image burning, and he's like, she took a lot of pictures with that camera. Something probably just got crossed on the film. It's whatever. Just delete it. Like
Dude, he didn't even
I need not. Yeah,
care. Yeah, he was just like, oh yeah, it was nothing, whatever. Like, holy
yeah.
crap, dude.
Yana also tells him, she's like, bro, some shit goes down at night when y'all not here. Like, this place is fucking haunted. And I'd
Yeah.
rather we stay at my house in the city until this is fully furnished and fully renovated. And he's like, all right, whatever, we'll talk about it. Yana then shows Ted a chest. He's like, what the fuck is that? And she's like, well, Darcy sent it. And while you were asleep, Ted, like, I don't know what you want me to do with it. He's like, oh, well, I don't know. Like, just get rid of it. I don't care. And he goes to go outside, and he realized Darcy is actually outside, and she's been waiting for Ted to actually let her in. Turns out she's an unexpected guest, and tonight is Danny's 1-year death anniversary. And it seems like, with Ted working nights and Yana wanting to leave for the city because she doesn't like spending nights there alone, Darcy may just be spending the night in this house all by herself. Bro, did I mention she's blind?
I would say she's also blind.
They're gonna leave her in this house all by her damn self. She's blind. She doesn't know where she's going. Like, I understand blind people when they go around, they make a map inside their head, they figure their steps and all that shit. But having never been in this house, I'm assuming she doesn't know where the hell she's going.
Especially
this where
house.
the furniture is. Yeah.
This house is wild.
Bro, they basically sit her ass on a couch and they're like, all right, you can stay there for the next 24 hours. Like, peace.
And this ain't no normal layout of a house. This thing is just giant. There ain't shit in it.
No.
Oh.
But what she does do is she makes her way to this trunk, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Doesn't even hesitate. Doesn't trip over nothing. It's like this trunk was calling her. Darcy then opens the trunk, and she says it's a gift for Ted. Ted seems confused, and he's like, I don't want this. But Darcy seems to be gifting this in almost like a menacing way. Like, this really isn't a gift. Did you get those feelings?
Yeah, right away I was like, this is kind of odd. This is a little freaky.
Darcy's got to go to the bathroom. So Ted shows her where the bathroom is, and they leave Yana behind alone with this thing. Darcy then tells Yana how her mother procured. Wow, that's a tough word for me to say. Darcy then tells Yana how her mother procured this trunk. Turns out on your 5th wedding anniversary, it's tradition to gift someone something made of wood. And Yana says, well, we're not married and we haven't even been together that long. So I'm assuming this is Danny and Ted's 5th year wedding anniversary, right around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, she tells her like a witch gifted it to her mother. She doesn't say it's cursed. She doesn't say anything like that. She just says a witch gave it to her mother. And Yana is a bitch. She's just like, well, fucking, I don't want it. Like, get it out of my house. Yana then tells her she's leaving for the night and notices the trunk is open and the wooden man is now outside of the box. Darcy swears up and down she did not take him out. So you start getting this creepy feeling because this thing looks creepy as shit. Doesn't even look like it's made of wood. It looks like it's made of dry, dead skin.
I did not like this thing. Holy crap.
Yana's trying to leave now. She wants fucking out of this house. She's the only smart person around here, but she can't find her car keys. And this bitch literally says to the blind lady, hey, have you seen my keys?
Oh, God.
No, she literally hasn't. And that's not a lie. Yana is looking everywhere. She can't find them. Personally, I do think Darcy stole them and she's like sitting on them or something. She's hiding them because she doesn't want to be in this house by herself. She wants someone there with her. Right. That's my personal feeling. It never comes to fruition. We don't know what's going on. Yana then brings out a charcuterie board and she has some very like just bitchy small talk with Darcy again. And Darcy politely asks her if she was sleeping around with Ted before Danny passed away, which is, I would assume, normal because the relationship happened so fast. You could just tell there's tension between these two, and it's not a good tension. Darcy also discloses, though, that she's some form of psychic who can kind of read objects that people give her. And she has a story about a widow who brought her husband's wedding ring to see if he had been cheating. Turns out he had been very unfaithful and cheated a whole lot, and it had been going on for years, and this dude was a fucking habitual offender with many, many women. They then talk about how Yana feels staying out there all by herself while Ted works. She says she's not worried that another patient will show up, but she is scared because there has been a murder in the house. It's very unsettling. Darcy goes, would you let them in? And Yana, of course, says, "Do I look stupid?" To which Darcy immediately responds with the best line of the movie: "I have no idea what you look like, but you sure sound stupid."
So good, dude. I had like chills right there. That is such a good line. Oh my God.
Beautiful. Turns out, though, Danny didn't let Olin in her home. And with Darcy's gift, though, she does see through Olin's eye that he didn't come there to kill Danny, and he was actually trying to help her. Olin, when we get this flashback, Olin says, "All right, lock the door, stay inside. If you see anything, take off running. I'm going to run into town. I will call the cops and be back with help." So Danny grabs a flashlight and a hammer and begins to walk around the house. And like I said earlier, dude, there is no fucking way I'm going in this tent. And if I do go into this tent, there's no fucking way I'm zipping it shut, because then I think I leave myself defenseless and I can't see a goddamn thing.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Like, she grabs the camera that she's been using to take pictures of the house to try and capture spirits or orbs or something like that. If you're in this situation, Justin, and you're going to look through the camera that would have caught someone coming into your house, are you going into the tent to hide to look through it?
No, dude, stay out of the tent, man.
Absolutely not, dude, because if there's someone in this house, they're going to watch you go into this tent and they're going to go, "Oh, this is my time to strike."
Right? This is easy.
No, I'm staying outside the fucking tent. I'm putting my back up against the wall, and then I'm going frame by frame. So I have a viewpoint and I have some kind of, wherewithal to react if something happens. Yeah. But she grabs this camera and, like an idiot, dude, she goes into the tent, zips it shut, and she starts going frame by frame by frame by frame. And it turns out someone came into this house. She's absolutely pissing her pants, and I would be too. She slowly opens this tent, and she's looking into that corridor. She sees nothing. And, dude, oh my fucking God, Justin, this slow unzip of the tent and the stairs in the darkness and trying to see something, bro. This shit scared the fuck out of me.
Dude, I was so
the man with the man with the mask just pops his head out and gives her a quick jump scare. Beautifully done.
Yeah, like, jump scare to be done. I gotta talk about the scene real fast, just because I was watching this movie with my headphones on in like complete darkness, and I bailed on it. I had to take my headphone, I put it on the big screen because I got so scared. I was literally watching it on my laptop, just so zoned in, dude. My heart was freaking racing. It was like so simple, but I was like so freaking scared, dude. After that jump scare, I almost had a heart attack. I literally put it on the big screen and like took my headphones
I was so
off.
roped in because, like you said, don't watch it on a laptop with headphones. Right? But I did watch it by myself. Around like midnight when I watched it.
Of course.
I had everything pitch black. The whole house was quiet. I had the TV on 50, so it was nice and loud. And I'm fucking staring at it. And I'm doing what she's doing, bro. I'm staring at the corridor. Like, I'm trying to like make out a shape.
Yeah, you're trying to see.
Sometimes you can catch something. Then that fucking head pops in and scares the shit out of her, bro. I paused it and I had to catch my breath.
Dude, I warned you. I texted you. I was glad you said that because I'm like, I literally text you. Like, I warned you. I'm like, dude, don't watch this like that. It's so scary.
And then the second you replay it, thank God, bro, we don't see Danny die.
Oh God, yeah.
Because that was the only relief. Otherwise, I think my fucking heart would have exploded right here.
Yeah, seriously.
We just see this guy taunt her with the ball peen hammer, and then he stands up and he walks into the tent, and then it's an immediate flash scene to him sitting down like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And there is fucking blood all over everywhere. This tent.
All right, so before I take this away again real fast, I just want to talk about how, dude, do you love how you find more info in this movie? Like the beautiful like flashbacks like through like Darcy's storytelling is such a cool way. It's such a cool way to fill in the blank, like the gaps of the info we're missing. I just want to say
because I texted you right when I finished these notes.
Yeah.
So I may or may not edit this out of the podcast. So if this jumps forward, // it's because I decided to edit it out.
Yeah.
But this is right where I texted you. My notes go, "Have fun taking over, Justin. Holy shit." And then my next paragraph goes, "Calling my shot because I'm writing this as I'm watching this for the first time. The orderly killed Danny for Ted so he could be with Yana."
Yes, and it's funny that you say that. Like I said, you can take this out if not, whatever you decide. But I actually said that my wife was like not watching it with me, but I went around and I think I paused it around this point too because I started taking my notes. I told her the same thing. I was like, I know. Told her, I'm like, I know who did this. Like, I know the reasoning and stuff. And that being,
dude, it's so wild. Real quick before you take over that, we both call this.
Yeah.
In // if you haven't seen this movie, go fucking watch it right now. And I'm not telling you if this is a spoiler or not, because this is just us calling this as we're watching the movie, but for the fact that we both said this, and even usually when you figure something out in a movie or you think you've solved it, it either ruins the movie for you or you start taking yourself out and paying less attention.
Yeah.
Bro, I am still fully involved. I am still
Fully
glued to
engaged.
this fucking TV. Like, even if I call this and it's right, I need to know why. I need to know how. I need to know when they set this up. I need more information.
Yeah, fully engaged. Shout out to director Damien McCarthy. Unbelievable work here. But you know what? Let's get into this. So anyway, so now it flashes back to the two of them talking still. And she's like, okay, well, like, who killed your sister then? And we see another flashback of like Olin talking to Ivan. Olin saying how he like gets out in the week and everything, and he's praying for his mom. And she basically tells Yana, like, yeah, Ivan killed her. And she's like, well, all right, how do you know all this? Like, what are you even talking about? And then she shows her the friggin' eye, like as you see behind me, like she shows the friggin' glass eye.
Not for nothing, dude. Olin, this whole movie, he gives off the vibe of someone who's been like a tortured soul, but he's a good soul.
Exactly. Yep.
And then, like, there's even a point in the movie, Darcy's talking about him, and Yana right here goes, well, he beat his mother to death. And Darcy goes, well, she already took one eye, and if someone's coming for my other good working eye, I'd kill them too.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. It was an abusive mother who was attacking him. So that's the reason. And that's why he literally, in the flashback, he literally says like he was praying for his mom. Like he did not want to do this. It was like a terrible situation.
It was like he fought back and an accident happened.
Yeah, this is not a guy who just killed his mother unprovoked. And then we see a scene, we do see Ivan and Ted back at their office and they're talking. And basically Ivan says how he like saw his blind twin sister. The twin sister, Darcy. Oh my God, I forgot her name. Darcy in the store and everything, and how he says like, "Oh, you didn't tell me about that." But then we see Yana now. Yana is just terrified. She calls Ted and she's like, "Yo, Darcy is scaring the crap out of me. She is saying some insane shit. She is saying Ivan killed your wife. Like, please come home right now." And you see Ted kind of just like, all right. He does look a little shaken up right now, like freaked out. Like, wait, what? All right, well, it's really busy. Like, I'll see what I can do and everything. And now we flash back to Yana, who's walking. She's like on the top of the stairs, so she's got her cell phone. Dude, she looks down on the room. This wooden man's head is, if you're watching, you see Sean how he's doing, but his head is bent back, staring straight at her. She gets so scared. She drops her cell phone all the way down the freaking thing. But I'm telling you, dude, how scary the scene was. Too. I would have had a heart attack. This thing looked at her. She goes down now, and she grabs.
Just real quick. I know this scene isn't on the same level as The Ring, but this quick jump scare with the score got me just like when the dad or the mom opens the closet door in The Ring and they see the daughter real quick.
Yeah.
Fuck me up.
No, this scared the shit out of me. Like I said, it's just a quick flash of this thing looking at her. So scary. And then, dude, the tension. She goes downstairs and how she is checking this thing out. I mean, she is like going right up to its face, like almost like touching its mouth. You are just waiting for this thing to like bite her or like come alive or grab her. It is like your heart is friggin' racing. And then she looks at its head. And I guess the best way I can describe this is it almost looks like a bowling ball. It's got like holes in their head, in the wooden man's head. And it's got different things in it. She like pulls out a vial of blood. One's got like a tooth in it.
Yeah, there's teeth, there's hair. Yo, I'm done after the first one.
Dude, there is clumps of hair that she's pulling out. There is like pictures that are sealed, and she like looks that up, and it's Darcy and Danny as kids. One's as like an adult. Like, dude, your heart is racing, and Darcy is sleeping this whole sorry, what do you got?
Did you feel like this, dude, before she started pulling these things out of the back of its head?
Yeah.
Because there's 5 elements or like 5 areas.
Yeah.
Did you not instantly think like you're supposed to stick your hand in it?
Oh, dude, that's why I literally was just like, I felt like it was like a bowling ball. That's the only way.
Yeah, I was like, if she puts her fingers in it, like at this point, I'm thinking like she brought this doll to set up either Darcy or Ted.
Yeah.
Well, Darcy brought it to set up Yana or Ted. Sorry.
Yeah.
And whoever puts their fingers into it, it like consumes their soul or something or gives it life. You know what I mean? Something along those lines. I was not expecting like all these trinkets or like I don't know, not sacrifices, but I'm struggling thinking of the word. But like you said, the blood, the hair, the tooth,
Yeah.
like all that shit. I was not expecting that to be in its head.
Yeah, no, either. As soon as I saw that, obviously it screams witchcraft. Like these are clearly things like that witchcraft use and everything. Darcy wakes up and she just friggin' screams, and that even friggin' startles me. She's like, "Put them back," and Yana does, and Yana is absolutely pissed right now. She is just like, "Fuck this." She literally is like, "Good night." Runs. She just like shuts off the light, storms off to bed, and we see Darcy now goes and sits at the table. Dude, like even talking about this movie, it doesn't just the tent like the atmosphere
Talking
it
about it does
creates.
not give it
That's the
justice.
thing.
You
Like
need to watch this.
you gotta watch it because even like just when she goes and sits at the table, it's so creepy. And Yana now she goes to the bathroom. We see like the lights kill off and she hears some really creepy sounds. So she's like, "Fuck this." She goes off to her bedroom. We see her get ready for bed. She goes into her bed. She's got the camera there.
Oh, she shuts off the fucking lights.
Yeah, like the friggin'
No,
no.
if I'm going in my bedroom, I'm locking the door.
I'm,
I'm bringing a butcher knife and I'm leaving the fucking lights on.
seriously. She's scrolling through the camera now. That was Danny's camera and everything, and she's flicking through the pictures. And then she sees like a ghost. She sees Danny's friggin' in one of the films, like her freaking ghost. Holy shit, so scary. She jumps up, and then we see Danny's spirit is like in there, and it like screams like run, scary as fuck. Dude, she runs downstairs. There is like creepy sounds going on. There is something you hear like a thump. We see that the friggin' box like closes. She runs over to that friggin' chest. She opens it up. She finds her friggin' keys. Like she grabs those keys, dude. She's out so fast into her car as she flees and driving away. We literally see
Adios, bye bye, bon voyage. See you
dude,
later.
we literally see Danny's ghost like kind of slowly walk out in the hallway into like the door frame and just like staring off her. Holy shit, dude, that was
Bro,
terrifying.
the only time my heart has pounded this fast, this was scary intense. But the
Yeah.
only time my heart has pounded this fast to the words run is when we spent the night in the Conjuring house and we were using the spirit box and we were in the
Oh,
fucking meat locker or like the basement where they used
that
to store the meat.
yeah.
And you were like, "Is there anyone in this house? What should we do?" And then we were scanning the channels and we heard clear as fucking day the words run.
That was dude, I literally got chills. We literally all bailed. Like there wasn't even talk
We
like
were
that
like,
happened.
let's
Like,
go back
dude,
upstairs. I think it took us like another hour to go back downstairs.
we stayed out of the basement for a while. That was scary as shit. But flash back to Oddity. Now, Ted is home. Once again, the atmosphere, dark house, terrifying. This dude is like unbothered. Like, I don't know what is wrong with this dude. He's just like walks in there and everything. He goes upstairs and we see Darcy like bent over. She is praying. And she basically is saying, like, Ivan did it. He's like, Olin did it. Like, he's like, what are you talking about? He's so calm. And Darcy starts talking. She's like, I killed Olin to get back, and he was innocent. And now I'm gonna have to live with that. Like, I'm gonna have to deal with that. And he went there to save her. And Darcy says she knows everything. She's like, all you had to do is like say you love someone else. Like you do not need to hire Ivan. She would have got over it. I would have comforted her. Like none of this would have
Dude, this
happened.
whole conversation is so heartbreaking.
It really is heartbreaking. You can say she is so upset with the stuff. And now we have another flashback scene where we see Ivan and talking to Ted. We see him explaining it to her, like, hey, like I need her dead. Seeing this someone else. I can't lose this house though. Like we can't break this up. Like he's basically saying like she's too attached to me. Like
Dude, yeah,
it won't,
he openly says like I need her dead
yeah,
because I've sunk every penny of my savings into this house,
dude.
and she's too in love with
She's
me
too in love with
to
me. Like
just
she
let
won't.
me go.
Yeah, she
Like
won't
you
just let me go.
self-centered piece of fucking shit.
Such a
I'm
piece
pretty
of
sure
shit.
if you come out and you tell her that you're fucking the pharmaceutical rep, she's gonna be like, "We're done."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're like, hey, I'm fucking someone else, like, okay, that probably will end it. And as this is happening, we see Olin and he's listening through the friggin' walls as they discuss the killing details. And you can see Ivan is a psychopath too. Like he's just saying different
He,
reasons.
yeah, dude.
Dude, he wants
Ted,
he
Ted is just like, "Hey, can you make it quick, painless? You got to make it bloody." He's like, "But I don't want her to suffer. Like, I do care about it. Like, so just make it fast."
yeah.
And he's like, "Well, how about we make it sexual?" And he's like,
Dude.
"No." Like, oh, now you're concerned for her dignity, you
Yeah,
piece of fucking shit.
the whole entire conversation was creepy as shit because this dude's bringing in sexual assault and all this different really creepy details and shit. And he's like, oh no, I care about her. Just, smash her head with a hammer because I'm such a fucking nice guy and don't want her to hurt. Like both of you guys get
Make it
fucked.
quick, make it fast, but make sure you
Yeah.
do it in the tent so it doesn't damage my house.
My house too, yeah. Just holy shit. And then
No.
we flash forward to just Darcy back that was talking. She's like, I want to expose you. I want you to lose everything. And dude, Ted is still such a, he's just like, no, look, this is not what happened. He's like, look, I'm going to talk to you about I'm going to talk to the investigator. And she's like, call him right now and everything. And he's like, look, I don't have his number here. I'm going to leave my phone. And we see him like put down his phone across the way from her. He's like, I'm going to drive to my office. And he's like, I'll get him and I'll get the number. I'll have him call you. Just make sure you answer the phone. Just make sure you please answer the phone. And then we see him leave, and we kind of see in between them was where the trap door was, and we see the trap door is missing now. Fucking dude took the trap door
Before
out.
you see the trap door gone,
Yeah.
did you get the feeling that he's still trying to play this off like he has no idea, he's not involved? And I'm thinking he's got the detective in his pocket too.
Yeah, dude, same thing when he's talking about this. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm still trying to piece it together too, because like he is still saying, no, 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 no. Like, you got this wrong. You got this wrong. And now we go back to the office and where he calls her, and we flash forward. We see her, the phone ringing and everything, and she gets up and she goes to get it, and she falls straight through the floor, that trap door. Like, you just see her absolutely disappear.
Dude, I was hoping in like my heart that like some sixth sense would have kicked in for her, or she would have looked through like this guy, or like something like her sister would have like whispered to her, like, stop.
Same. I was so upset, like no joke, because like you feel how much sad
Dude,
she is, the shit she's going
like
through.
even if you're looking on YouTube, like the picture I have behind me, like you can just see the pain in this fucking girl's face. And although she did kill Olin, like you can tell she's got pain from doing that now, knowing what she
Oh
knows.
yeah.
And all she wanted was like her sister to still be like, she just wants justice.
Yeah, it's friggin' awful. And we see Ted telling Ivan, no, hey man, like we got a problem. So now we see Ivan is in the house. It flashes forward a couple of minutes. We see Ivan in there. Same thing with the atmosphere. Terror, so scary. It is dark. It is creepy. We see, and unfortunately now we do see Darcy is bleeding out. She's alive, but holy shit, she smashed her head. She is not looking good. Ted calls Ivan. And it's like, ha, it's almost over. Like he is like kind of just like laughing. Like he sees her dying, and he's like kind of like, oh, this is easy.
I
Darcy at
think
this point,
they make it out like it's a cell phone. He's like,
yeah.
can it be repaired? And he's like, absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly. They're like talking like, hey, it cannot be repaired. Darcy starts giving like hand signals now. She's like chanting and like hitting her chest and doing some really weird shit. As Ivan goes downstairs now, holy shit, dude, that woodman is alive and he is walking up the stairs. Yikes.
Dude, I'm so pumped this has happened because I've been waiting the whole fucking movie for him to do something.
Right, now this dude is finally alive and moving. He goes after Ivan. Ivan jumps down. He hurts his leg, so now he can't really get around. And we see him. He gets like picked up, and this woodman is like squeezing his friggin' head.
Dude,
like,
just real quick.
Go ahead.
Did you not go, Ivan, you are the biggest fucking moron I've ever seen in my life? This dude knows he's going to hop this railing, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you do it about, I'd say like 3 feet lower? Because when he's on the balcony edge, he goes up that small flight of stairs and then goes to the higher part of the balcony to jump down.
Fucking hurls it.
Or at least be fucking half a smart guy, and instead of jumping straight down from there, turn around and slide down the railings and kind of let your body hang and then fall down. Completely. You idiot. Yeah, I am so glad you are incapacitated right now, you piece of shit.
Yeah, screw this dude. And then we see poor Darcy is like dying. We see the woodman above Ivan. And then we also see like we see Danny, the spirit of Danny, looking down at friggin' Darcy. And then we flash forward to now all of a sudden Ivan awakes. But where is he? He is back at the hospital and he is strapped in a friggin' bed. And who is there with him? But Ted is in there. And holy shit, Ted is an absolute psychopath. We see
psychopath, sociopath.
I was just gonna say like
habitual liar,
psychopath,
like narcissist, like you name it, dude. This dude has everything wrapped up in one neat little bow. It is inside of him, and the only reason why he's working in a fucking psych hospital is because he knows the ins and outs of all these fucking. I don't even know what to say about this guy. He's just the worst human being ever.
The absolute worst. And Ivan is freaking out. He's like, "What's going on?" Because he is strapped down to this bed, and he's like, I need a priest. Like, I want to confess. He's all the stuff. And Ted's kind of just like, well, so basically the woodman did all this to you and everything. He's like, because that's funny because I burnt this woodman. And we show him like, he's like, I brought it alive. I brought it outside. I mean, and I burnt this thing and it was not alive or anything. So how was it alive? Could you please explain this? And why do you want a priest? And he's like, I need to confess and all this. And he's like, you know what? Like, I can't have that because then I'll be questioned and they'll find out everything. They'll piece it together, like why I released this guy. Every single thing will make sense basically, and it'll be traced back to him. So he's basically like, I can't let that happen. And he hints now, he's like, you know what? He's like, what are you gonna do to me? He's like, and we see one of the crazy inmates that's like a cannibal. He's like basically like picture like Hannibal. This dude's face is strapped up and everything. This dude is twitching, super creepy. He goes and unleashes this guy, puts him in the room with Ivan. And as you see Ivan laying down, you see this creepy dude's head stick up at the end of his bed and like bites his toe. And as you hear like the scream, we cut again. We cut to a quick scene of Yana calling him a cell phone conversation, breaking up with him. Because basically, even she's like, yo, Ted, you are way too much of a psychopath for me. She's like,
Yeah.
all these people have died in this
all
house
these
now.
murders in this house, and you don't want to leave it yet. She's like,
And-
I can't do this. We're good. See you
Yeah,
later. Bye
all
bye.
these murders, and this dude's just like, still no, I'm gonna live there, all by myself out there. Clearly, spirits are haunted there. All these, this dude does not care. Holy shit! So Ted gets home, and we see a package at the door, and we look at the return address, and it says Odello Oddities. And he sits down, just what he brings it in, whatever, sits down at the table, and he opens it. And what is it? It is that bell. It is that little bell that you ring that we taught that Darcy showed him earlier in the movie.
Yeah,
That
she was like, don't ring it because it's
Yeah.
a bellhop that will show up and literally bring you to the underworld.
Exactly. This bellhop got killed in a hotel. Is cursed. Whoever's ring they've all ended up dead. So he sits it really nice in front of him and everything, and he's kind of just looking at it first and everything. It's like very tense scene. You're like, what is going on? So he rings it. And at first, he's kind of seems like a little spooked, like a little, he's kind of like looking around, and nothing happens for a little bit. Nothing happens at all. And it just
He
kind of
like
like sits.
giggles in a sigh of relief.
Yeah, you see like a laugh. He kind of like giggles, like, I'm right. Like all the spirituality, the spirit shit is all bullshit. And then all of a sudden, as he's laughs, we see the bellhop guy behind him, like the ghost of this bellhop guy, just kind of like standing there, like very stoic, just behind him. And then the movie ends. Let's fucking go. Music kicks on. The end. Holy shit.
Let's go.
Oh, all right. Talk
What
first.
a ride.
Woo.
What a ride, bro. This movie had my heart pumping. I did figure out the killers about halfway through the movie, like we had talked about earlier.
Yep.
However, that didn't stop me from being fully hooked. The setting of this very old house is creepy as fuck. If you want to watch this at night or alone with the volume loud enough so you can feel the score in your bones, dude, this is the most effective way to enjoy this horrifying thrill ride. The only movie to straight fuck me up like this on a first watch was The Haunting in Connecticut. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, I never saw the whole thing.
When I saw that when it came out in theaters when I was real young, and
Yeah.
I just starting to get back into horror movies.
Yep.
And I remember it on a rewatch, it didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
But the first time watching that was actually one of the first haunting movies that I ever went and seen. That straight fucked me up. Both of these movies made it very uneasy for me to sleep afterwards. The only person I wanted to die when this shit started happening was Yana, believe it or not. I'm glad she didn't die, though, because she was just a victim of manipulation from this piece of shit fucking Dr. Ted, who's
Right.
probably the illegitimate son of Dr. Dan for reasons I won't mention on this podcast. At the end of the movie, with him thinking everything's going to work out just fine and like all this other shit, and then he rings the bell, and then the bellhop popping up next to him before the end credits gave me the only sigh of relief in this whole movie.
Right.
I am so glad he rung that bell. Dude, this movie is very predictable. We've
Mhm.
seen this movie 1,000 times in 1,000 other movies. When we talk about the score becoming a character, the setting becoming its own character, all this shit, dude, just works perfectly together. And like you said, dude, hats off to director McCarthy. Bro, I'm giving this movie an 8.3. I can't wait to literally buy this on physical media. And I know I say that about movies that we do watch, but when I feel an excitement towards a movie and it ropes me in, I want it on physical media. I only from here on out, like we stream a lot of movies, and that's the way like society's going, is stream this, stream that. But whenever we've streamed something and we get fully hooked, dude, I need it on physical media.
No, definitely. And God, I mean, I don't know how much more I can say because it's kind of odd that most of your talking points, I literally wrote super creepy, simple story that I guessed, but it did not take away from anything. The suspense is very suspenseful. The creepy setting and the actors. This movie was wicked well acted. hats off to like all of them, from friggin' Olin to Darcy, who played the girl played Darcy and
She
Danny.
played Darcy and Danny, and she
Dude,
fucking crushed it.
dude, Ted, absolute, like even Ivan, like dude, the acting was so solid. And I feel like if you did not get good actors like this, a movie would fall apart because you needed like
You need these types.
and because so many, like I said, the movies of like this have happened before, but so many different they haven't been as effective. The acting was incredible. I loved how you saw the flashbacks through like Darcy's like vision, so you're revealing more info as the movie went on. And I give this an 8.2 out of 10. So holy shit,
Almost spot on.
Me and Sean are on the exact same page of this movie. Um, Damian McCarthy, this dude's I mean, the directing killed it in this. This is the first thing I've ever seen of him, and wow, was it awesome. You got any fun facts or anything else?
I do have some, but real quick, like you talked about the acting. Danny is this loving wife who cares deeply for Ted, and she portrays Danny perfectly. And then to switch this character up 1000% and then go play Darcy, who is this like I would call her oddity. She is the oddity in the movie. She is the oddball. She believes in the spiritual like realms and all that stuff. She plays that to a fucking T. And then when you see the heartbreak in her face and portraying a blind lady at that, dude, the emotions are just unreal. And then like we even talked about Olin. This guy comes off as a genuine soul who is tortured for what he did to his mother, not because of what his mother did to him his whole life.
Yeah.
Like if you just the picture behind you, Justin, he looks like an innocent 12-year-old still.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Dude, and let's just talk, dude, that woman, man. Like, are you ever gonna forget that? Like,
No!
Dude, you cannot watch this, say, like, all right, flash forward 10 years and you've never rewatched this movie, right? And maybe you forget about some parts of it. I guarantee you remember it being creepy, and you remember that friggin' image of that wooden man, because that was one of the creepiest shit. And half the time it didn't move. It sat at a friggin' table for half the movie, and it was still scary. This dude, this director, showed you like the scary thing in the movie, and he just sat it in front of you. This is a bold move. A lot of times you want to play with this, you don't not reveal something right away. This dude put this creepy centerpiece right there, and it was just so scary. Like, it just sat there. And the thing was so unsettling and terrifying. Like, I will not
pretty
forget
sure
that.
like I need to rewatch this and focus on the wooden man, but I'm pretty sure there's very subtle movements with him. Like I'm pretty sure when he comes out of the box, he's sitting with his hands by his side.
Yeah.
And then like 20 minutes into the movie, we don't even notice it because they just like walk by the wooden man, but then his hands are up on the table.
Yeah. Like I said,
You know, small shit like that.
Right.
Dude.
Yeah. I would be interested in a rewatch, definitely, to focus on them more. Whew.
All right, dude. You want to touch on some fun facts?
Yeah, let's go. You want me to talk? You to talk? Who you want?
I'll drop a couple real quick.
All right.
One of the items in Darcy's room of haunted objects is a wind chime, like a I don't know how you call it, the cymbal banging monkey toy.
Oh yeah.
This is actually a reference to Stephen King's haunted toy from his short stories. The monkey from Stephen King's book, The Skeleton Crew. I thought that was pretty cool because I do love everything Stephen King.
Same. I do have. Yeah. Is that a cover of? Was that like the cover of one of his books or something? I can't.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. It's the monkey with the symbols. Yeah.
Yeah, I can picture that. I've never read that story, but I do know about that.
There is also a short film titled How Olin Lost His Eye in 2013, which features Olin as the central character. Watching this film provides insight into the character's arc, which is resolved here. It's part of Damien's collection of short films, all set within the same universe. Finding this fun fact and watching this movie, now I want to see these short films. I want to know more about this. Like
I almost watched that. I forgot.
I need it. I want to see this.
I almost watched it. I remember when I read that, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta watch it. And then I just got sidetracked.
Prominently displaying on one of the walls behind Dr. Timmons in his office is a medical diagram of a torso in profile. The head in the picture is tilted back facing up. This is the same way the golem looks up. That's the word I was looking for through this whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I know it's in the Hebrew culture of the golem. And to bring the golem to life, you got to put stuff inside of it.
Yeah.
You build it out of clay, but this one's made out of wood. And that's what I was looking for through this whole film.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't put my finger on what the hell this creature was.
Yeah, dude, that's why like my fun fact was the wooden man was in Jewish folklore of the golem, which is a large clay figure that can be literally brought to life through friggin' rituals. It's so scary.
And then the last fun fact I have, which I think is pretty cool, and it is a spoiler fun fact, although we talk about this at the end of the movie anyways. During the phone call between Dr. Timmons and Danny in the opening minutes of the film, Dr. Ted says, "I can be the villain." And this is a dead giveaway right off the rip because it actually turns out that he is the villain.
The villain. Yep.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead.
You touched on a lot of them, but I got the tagline is every murder lives on. Thought that was pretty solid. And just basically the house, because I like the house is such a giant part of this movie. Like, just if this was in almost a normal house, it wouldn't be scary. But did you see what this house is?
It's like an older castle, right?
Yeah, it's this movie's filmed in Ireland. This is the Bantry House in Ireland. It's an 18th century historic house and gardens. The director Damien literally went to them to see if he could film there, and they allowed him to. So this is like a historic house in Ireland. I literally looked up the pictures of the house and everything, and it's so badass because the house is it's almost like its own character in this movie. Like this wouldn't work if
dude, it really is. If this was a normal house, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, right. So
if this was anything but this like ancient castle fucking
Yeah.
stone looking place, it
Right?
wouldn't have given you the same vibes.
Exactly. So look it up. It's called the Bantry House of Ireland, and that is all I got.
Road trip?
Road trip. I am not going to that house. Hell no. I'm not going during the day, not ever. No
right.
way.
So this is the end of the episode where we say goodbye. But before we say goodbye, I'm going to tell you one more time, go watch this movie.
Yeah.
Watch it in the dark. Watch it loud. If you've got the balls, watch it on a big screen and link up your headphones. That way there you get the full surround sound effect, bro. Because the score is unsettling. It is unchilling. The vibes of this movie will creep you out. This will make your bones shiver.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm Hacky. This is Stabby. This dude right here.
Just Justin.
Let's
Peace
go.
out. Have the best day ever.
Bye-bye.
Peace.